Alright, so it's just got off work. I'm gonna head up and check a few of my non-cellular cameras that I'm pretty sure they're gone on that private property that I've been kind of trying to figure out how to hunt. But as far as I know, the whole property is burned from what the fire maps show. And I was in here kind of a few days ago helping CAL FIRE get through to where the gate is, just kind of showing them where it was at. Yeah, we're gonna head in here. It's a little bit of a crappy drive, but we're gonna check it out, check out the damage. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 4 cameras down in the bottom by these couple of these creeks, and I'm almost gonna guarantee, I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee, but my guess is they're gone, burned, just because it probably got pretty hot down in there. Surprisingly, my Moultrie cellular cameras did actually pretty good. A couple of them, I think, died instead of getting burned. I think just because the fire was in front of them and it just kept taking video after video after video after video, and they I think they died. I'm not sure. Well, I won't know. Those are pretty far from home right now, so I won't probably get up there to check those for a little while. And then further into the burn area, well, actually where it's kind of still burning, I'll probably lose some more cameras up in there. Unfortunately, some tree stands are probably smoked, but you know what, it's a risk you take when you're running cameras. So I actually wouldn't think it would be a bad idea if somebody actually sold trail camera insurance for wildfires. I'd probably be interested in that. Anyway, so we're gonna get in here. We gotta hike a little bit to find them. If it's safe, we'll get in there and see if they're there. So check in a minute. You can see a lot of this it's low elevation, so it's a lot of rock, a lot of oak. So this stuff here, this terrain here, is going to benefit from the burn. It just is. It's gonna do well. It should bounce back pretty good within a few years. This is a wintering area for these deer that come in here. Although, you know, I was after the bears. This area will bounce back. Just like a lot of the fire area was like the lower foothills, even though some of that area is some pretty nasty country. It will benefit from the burn. There's not a lot of animals down in those areas. There's some bears, but there's not many deer. It's the big timber spots that will struggle to rebound. You know, I do hunt quite a bit into the Dixie Burn area. That stuff burned in 2021, and you would think it burned last year. So it looks horrible. So the stuff that's burning right now as we're coming in here, it breaks my heart it's burning. So anyway, so get back in here. It takes about 15 minutes to drive back here, this bumpy old road. So get back in here and check it out. So you can see that whole hillside looks much better. Like, it was like a lot of brush, but I think that stuff looks good. That was probably one of the thickest areas, and the thickest area that we're headed to is burn. You can still see the plume back there. So that hillside was really really bushy, really overgrown, and so that'll look good in a couple years. So yeah, this whole property burned. Pretty amazing. There's a shot of the plume right there, still burning up towards you know, like Butte Meadows and stuff like that. Pretty wild. You know, a lot of people are losing homes or in jeopardy of losing homes, so hopefully they can get it under control in the next day or two, and the weather will cooperate. So all right, we're gonna keep going. All right, so up here on this property that I get access to, there's some main roads that cover a lot of the area, and I can get pretty close to cameras, which makes it kind of nice. So we're able to drive back here quite a bit. You know, it's still smoking, looks like it's still burning, but tell people been back here, probably the firefighters and stuff. But we have a camera right here on this tree, and look at that. Man, I can't believe it that camera lived, man. I thought that camera was a goner, and I have another one further up that actually might be okay too. So actually we're gonna check this baby right now. So and I'll probably just leave it, even though it's still kind of burning in here almost. But I'm gonna check this camera real quick. All right, so it's showing it's got like 500 videos, so I'm gonna have to swap the SD card here. I don't have time to sit here and let that thing download, so I'm gonna swap the SD card. All right, so those are uploading. I'm actually not even sure if that camera is gonna have anything on it, because it shows it died like on the 15th or something like that. That would kind of suck, but at least the camera's still there. So you see it's thick down here. It's pretty thick. This stuff's gonna rebound good. But you know, private property, it's not always guaranteed I'll have access every year, you know. So you know, I'm glad that it doesn't look as bad as maybe I thought it would. But like I said, that big timber stuff is what really burns freaking hot, and then just cooks everything in its path to where there's not gonna be anything left to come back for years. This hillside up here, we'll show you on the way back out, was extremely thick, and it looks like it got burned out pretty good. It's actually where I always thought that most of the animals on this property were probably hanging out, but unfortunately it's probably gonna, you know, be overgrown and grow back and just be brush again, you know. But it'll be good for a few years, at least to be able to glass it. So all right, we're gonna cruise back here. We got about another half a mile or so back here. All right, made it to another camera. This one looks like something's been playing with it, or it got moved somehow, but it's here. It didn't burn. So you can see these whole hillsides burned, It burned right out of this creek bed that's overgrown. This whole hill is burned, and this is an old road, and you can see burn, burn, burn. Cameras there, so let's check out, let's see what's on. All right, so that camera has about 170 videos. It probably didn't catch much fire on it. Looks like there's a bear on it for sure. I already seen that just on the little pictures that pop up down this road. Ooh, look at that. There's some bear shit. That's a little bear shit. There's a tree down in here that blocks this road that I was gonna clear out so I could get down this road further, and damn tree's still there. It's a big tree. But the brush is all gone away from it. But there's a bigger mess back there, but it looks like it'd be easier to clean that out. So we'll have to come back. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but come back and get that cleared out so that we can get further back on the property. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, whoa, pleasantly surprised. Those two cameras. Now the one camera that I have up here, if I was a betting man, and I am a betting man, that camera's gotta be gone. If it was not gone, I'm one lucky guy. But I would think it's gone because of where it was, and the dozers probably went right by it. It was strapped to a rock. They probably pushed the rock. So we're gonna head there next, and then we gotta re-battery some cell cameras I got up on top of these ridges, and we're just gonna keep an eye on this property to see what sticks around. Not sure if I'll hunt here or not, but you can see, this is all burned. But that hillside, I don't know if you can be able to see it, that hillside up there used to be solid brush. It's burnt clear off. That's a good thing. This creek bed burned. So anyways, all right, we're gonna sit here and wait for this to load, and then we'll get on to the next spot. Here you can see it's still burning in here a little bit. You know, some of these dead trees, they're gonna burn for a while. You know, you wish they'd get somebody in here to maybe get that fire put out. You know, it's not a high priority, but that's just gonna burn and burn and burn. Whew. It's not my kind of campfire. Anyways, interesting. I mean, this stuff can smolder for freaking weeks and months probably. I've never actually had to, been pretty lucky. I know that during the Dixie fire, I was really, like, I think I actually went up and took some cameras down because I didn't want to lose them. And it actually, they would have ended up being okay. Some of them I left up, or the majority of them I left up, but you know, this fire was, it happened so fast. I mean, it was like 100,000 acres within like a day and a half, from what I remember. So nice pinstripe. But anyways, you know, considering what I've potentially lost in cameras and tree stands and whatnot, you know, I didn't lose my home, so I'm not gonna really complain about it. Like I said, it's always a risk to run cameras and stuff. You know, forest fires, California, are a yearly thing. And actually, I was talking to I was actually talking to Cal Fire, like, I think like 3 days, maybe 4 days before this fire started. And because they're doing, they train up on this property, clearing brush, it's just training stuff. And I told them, you know, my opinion was this area, which is towards Cohasset, and Forest Ranch are like the next, basically like next Dixie Fire, next campfire, just because it's so, it can be, a lot of it is very overgrown. So there's just fuel, so much fuel. And he agreed. He's like, yeah, he goes, it's just really bad up here as far as the underbrush and all that stuff. So maybe I jinxed myself, but ultimately it was, you know, some piece of shit guy who decided to be a piece of shit and do what he did as far as push his burning car that supposedly he stole from his mother and pushed it into a ditch. And you know, it was just the perfect storm. From what I read and a video I've seen on YouTube, there's this guy, I can't remember his name, but they were supposed to do a prescribed burn in the area, which is like the Upper Park Chico area, right where that fire started, but there was no more money in the budget. And you know, his opinion was if they would have had that prescribed burn, this fire would have, you know, it possibly would have started, but it wouldn't have grown as fast. And so maybe they could have got resources on it quicker, you know. So people making poor decisions, bad decisions, you know, and that affected thousands of other people. So I'm gonna have to get back up here soon and just poke around, man. I mean, it's just, I want to see, well, first off, I want to see what kind of wildlife is left in here, you know, or if it comes back, as far as like, did it head to a different property, you know, stuff like that. There is a cabin on this property. Oh man, an old trapper's cabin, and it looks like it's gone from what I can see up that drainage right there. So all right, on to the next spot. Enough of me rambling on about all this stuff. So we're getting pretty close to where my other camera is, but I just wanted to show this spot here. This was all like major thick. I mean, you couldn't even see across. You could see across the creek that's down there now. Now you can see this whole hillside, you know. So it should be better hunting in here. It's not going to be pretty for a while, but this stuff will be green next spring, hopefully, you know. And you know, fires, animals die. This is the first animal I've seen right here. Little fox. They don't all make it. I think probably the one animal that probably does the best getting away from a fire would be probably deer. I don't think bears probably, I don't know, man. I think when they get scared, you know, they just go up a tree and then the tree burns. And I mean, that's what I kind of just assume happens. I don't know if that's You know, deer, they just continue to run. That doesn't mean that some of them don't get caught and, you know, run into a bad spot and then the flames trap them and whatnot. But it's sad to think, you know, they go out like that sometimes. So, all right, we're almost to the other spot, and since the creek is burnt to shit, I'm not very hopeful for these two cameras over here. I think they're gonna be pretty melted. All right, we're gonna hike down right here, and here's what it looks like. So this is pretty thick, pretty burnt back, but I see a camera strap on this rock. I'm actually blown away from my videos up on top of the ridge. The bulldozers, the dozers and stuff were headed down here. I thought for sure this road would have been dozed out, but maybe they just figured maybe the fire was too far along and they just said, we're not gonna go down there. Holy cow, man. The raspberries, the blackberry bushes are gone. I mean, this was thick. That was all blackberries, all of it. Now you remember this tree right here. Where that big ass bear was this year. But what I'm gonna tell you right now is, look, there's already been a bear in here. Well, maybe. It almost looks like there's been a bear here since the fire. I don't know, maybe not. I can't tell. But look at this shit. Dude, I am the luckiest guy. Look at that. Look at that. Holy shit. That's amazing. We're gonna check that shit right now. All right, we got another camera down here, and I'll be shocked if it's there, how burnt it is. This one has like 200 videos. I'm gonna let it load because I don't think I have any more SD cards. That camera is gone. That one burned. It was right over there somewhere. I don't know if we can find it. Across this creek. It got hot through here. Oh, look at that. Camera was up on that tree. Oh, man. It didn't survive. I almost bounced in the creek. Oh, shit. I almost dropped it in the creek. Ugh. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, the SD card looks like it might be okay. Oh, dude, this is wild. Oh, man. Crazy is that. I'll hike back up over on this hill. Check out this hillside. This was pretty thick over here. It was a nice open field. It was actually a spot that I was hoping to put a tree stand in. All burned back. All of this over here on this side was blackberries, and then a lot of just weeds and star thistle throughout the rest of it. So oak trees probably live, This spot probably gonna be fire in a couple of years, man. Not literally, but I think it's gonna be good. All right, I'm gonna check this card too. Dude, that camera's got some wicked footage on it. I haven't even tried to take the other card out of the burnt camera yet. But dude, that other camera, that rub tree, it's a cedar, real sappy, you know. Dude, that thing is burning. Oh man. I'm curious if the bears will rub it anymore since it burned. Like, can they still smell other bear scent on the tree? Like with that charcoal, that, you know, you ever been in a burn zone, just how strong the smell of just the ashes and stuff. Dude, that blows my mind. It blows my mind that camera lived. Dude, it's like not even 10 yards from that tree, and I can't even imagine what the temperatures were. Jeez. The other one, what it looks like happened is probably fire came through, it was strapped to the tree, the strap probably melted and it dropped into the rocks right next to the water. Now it's still melted, it burnt the lens and whatnot, but it survived. Like, the SD card looks like it's okay. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that's amazing, dude. All right, I gotta head back to the top and check my cell cameras. They're up here, they're still working, but I'm curious to see like if they melted it all a little bit, or my little boxes that I put them in with the screws for the bears was like brand new plywood, and I thought for sure, you know, you all know how flammable plywood is. I mean, it's like gas, and so I thought for sure when the fire burning right underneath them, even just in the grass, I thought for sure they would burn. So we're gonna head up there, check it out. Probably be about a 20-minute drive, but we'll get up there. Hopefully there's nothing across this road, or I gotta turn all the way around. So Well, that ain't good. Son of a bitch. But I think we found a way. Maybe, if we're lucky here. When there's no road and there's no more fire danger, you just make a road. Especially when you're on private property. Oh. Well, that worked out. Problem is we gotta go back down that. All right, we're almost to the other camera. I'm not gonna go to the other ones, they're too far, but we're gonna go to this first one because it's about to die anyway, so that's basically why I'm coming to it. So check it out, see what it looks like. All right, this is where that nice buck was earlier, a few weeks ago. Come down here, drink off this little guzzler. Looks like it's still putting out water. There's my camera. I do have another camera up there also. The guzzler is guzzler. I don't know if that's a guzzler or not, but good. Glad there's still water coming out of this thing. That's awesome. Sweet. That canyon looks burnt. Look at that. Strap melted. The camera got smoked a little bit, maybe. The lens looks like it's got a little bit of a melt to it. That's pretty cool that it survived. All right, I'm gonna get the batteries changed out. All right, so got up here to another camera. This one burned a little. Well, more than a little. There it is. That lens is gone. It's melted. Might as well just take it. That's a bummer. But, well, that one didn't quite make it. It's been sending me a daily picture, but it's, that's it. That's doing it on its own. It's not doing it off movement, so can't win them all, I guess. All right, we're gonna get out of here, go home, go through some of these videos that I haven't gotten to watch yet off those SD cards, see what the fire looks like. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Getting back to bear hunting now, hopefully. I'm kind of a little bit more optimistic about my cameras in the higher elevation, even though I know the likelihood of a couple of them is pretty doom. But I'm more optimistic after being up here, even though it's like completely different terrain. So catch you guys on the next one.